Hey insulators, you are looking at a piece of history right here. This is wall spray cellulose put into this wall in 1978. The night that they sprayed this, the temperatures dropped down to 40 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. Amazing. It froze an inch deep, and they had moisture problems after that, but this is still stable. It's uncovered. Though it's not exactly pristine, it's unbelievable that this material is still standing and doing a good job here. Because this was original, they did not put glue in this system. It was all just pure newspaper. If you are in the 70s, you remember this. This is Celotex, and this is what they sprayed up against. It's just like sticking right to it. It's really cool to see this. It's stuck.
What is it, like a pressed board? Or?
It's a pressed fiber, and they use like a asphalt or a tar, which is there.
If you want to touch it, you can. It's a little, like I said, it's not glued. It'll move a little bit.
I can't believe how it stayed, though.
It moves just a little bit if you push it.
With no glue.
It's still holding.
But not much.
I don't think it'd ever fall out of there if you totally expose it, unless the wind, wiggled it.
Vibrations and stuff. Cool. Yeah, look at I mean. And here is another piece of history. This wall spray cellulose was sprayed in 1995. It has remained uncovered. You do not see any divots. You do not see any drop. There's no gaps. This is a really nice wall system. Well, people ask, won't it fall out? Or will it get gaps? Or will it sink or sag? Proof right here, 1995.
They light it on fire. Just a cigarette lighter.
Mountain fiber.
Not only are here witnessing some history with this cellulose, but I am here with Dick Steed. He lives here in Afton, Wyoming, and he has been around since the 1970s actually making this cellulose material that's done in wall spray.
With my uncle.
With his uncle. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys made this in the first place?
Well, we thought we could save money by making our own because we didn't want to spend a lot of money. So my uncle was pretty engineering type person, and he decided he could build this plant. So him and my other uncle, Ned Shumway, Ned and Robert, they were brothers. They built this plant, and we used a hay buster that they used to grind hay for silage to grind the product, run by a Series 60 Detroit diesel motor. I myself trailered magazine paper and newspaper from Salt Lake City to here once a week and take the finished product after they'd make it and haul it into Idaho Falls to a distributor there. And then I would drop the sideboards and go on up to Du Bois, Idaho, and pick up a load of gypsum in the totes. 4 of those on my trailer. Brought those home, and then I dropped those in Freedom, which is 30 miles from here to the north. And then I would turn right around and go back to Idaho Falls and pick up the chemical that they put in it for the fire retardant in the prills. And I've bulk dumped that in the back of my pickup 5 tons at a time with a liner in the bed so it wouldn't fall out. And it's highly corrosive stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a nice chrome bumper on the back of my truck that ended up getting burnt by that stuff, but no big loss. But anyway.
So what year was this?
We did that in, it had to be from 76 or so on into the 80s.
Wow.
Early 80s. And then we started building homes in 1980.
So this is your product.
Well, I wouldn't claim it's mine, but
your uncle and
collectively we made our own and saved a lot of money.
That's nice. Awesome. So the 3 materials you used were newspapers, gypsum. And then did you use a borate or is it in one of
I don't
those
know what it
outfit-
was called. It was something borax or
boron?
boron. That's what it was. After we finished this house, he went on making the insulation, of course, and then him and I guess it was just he that was making the insulation, and I went on with my brothers and another uncle to build homes in Star Valley. And I picked up with Uncle Robert again in about 86, and we started doing drywall together. And we were working really late, long hours, building a plaza mall here in Afton. And then he'd go home and milk his 50 cows, and then he'd get up and do that in the morning, and then we'd go drywall or make insulation or both. But he had a heart attack and died in 88 at
So-
45.
What equipment did you use to spray? What kind of a nozzle did you use?
We used a 4-inch hose. We had 4 orifices, or 4 sprayers on it. And we figured out pretty early that was way too much water. So we tried to turn 2 of those off and just have one on either side of the hose, and it worked a lot better.
Which is still used today the same way. Right.
Only usually they're using a 3-inch
Right.
hose instead of a 4. We used the same hose we sprayed the attics with. So we didn't have to change hoses. But the pressure was there, and it went pretty fast.
What moisture content do you remember?
This right here was like a soaked sponge. You could wring the water out of it with your hands, but I would say at least had to be above 40%, or at least 40, way above what they use nowadays. I remember taking the demonstration tools around to people and showing them. We had a rendition of an attic in a box, and we would fan the flames, and it would actually extinguish itself when we light it on fire. And people would go, their eyes would just come open and say, I got to have that in my house. And then the penny demonstration is the one that gets everybody.
And they take a pile of
melt the penny
cellulose and then they put a penny on top and use
Just
like
sits
a
there,
blowtorch
bubbles.
at it. Yeah.
First memory.
So that's why you put the cigarette lighter up to this wall behind me?
Yep.
Just to,
Just to show
To
people
show that
that
it
won't
won't-
light. We ended up building 8 or 9 homes and used this product in it, and then I went on to build for other people and tried to talk them into. I sold it for my cousin for a while, and he was installing it, and they just finally quit. It just phased out. Nobody used it anymore.
It even faded where the sunlight is hit the difference. Sun has been exposed through the window.
Pellets.
this is what you were saying. You pounded this
Yep.
stuff into the wall over here, and the wall spray on the other side didn't budge.
Dick, thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate that.